Hey everybody, my name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. I wanted to thank you for listening to this episode of The Morning Show. I'm the creator, the producer, and the host of the show. We want you to check out our website. It's themorningshowwithnatalie.com. You can go to that website. You can see all about our sponsors, all about the show. You can even listen to live episodes while they're going on right there from the website. Another way to listen to the show live is go to Live 365. You can download that app and just search for The Morning Show. It's right there. Super easy. We want you to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you will. That way you can keep up with what's going on The Morning Show. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it.
Hey friend, it's great to have you tuned into The Morning Show today. Here on The Morning Show, you'll hear your favorite Southern gospel music and some of the classics you'll never forget. And now, the hostess of The Morning Show, Natalie Duncan-Emmons.
When you wake up to the storm, and all you feel are the waves crashing against your boat, you wonder if anybody remembers you or the journey that you're on. When you feel discouraged from what you see on the news or the events going on around you, well, friend, cut it off. Don't look to the left or to the right, look up. And when everything inside of you is screaming to be afraid, to accept defeat, or to hand our enemy a victory, well, you need to sing, and then keep singing. Sing it some more, for we are God's people, and that's just what God's people do. Well, we sing.
He said sing, from a life and heart, just sing. When the night is darkest, sing. Let your joy explode and let music fill the air. And sing, when there's nothing else to do, sing. When something deep inside of you tells you that life is still a wonder, just throw back your head and sing. He said sing, from a life and heart, just sing. When the night is darkest, sing. Let your joy explode and let music fill the air. And sing, when there's nothing else to do, sing. When something deep inside of you tells you that life is still a wonder, just throw back your head and sing. When God created living things, He knew we'd need a way to share our fears, our questions, and our dreams. Oh, there were words, but words won't do when joy swells up inside. There simply had to be a better way. And He said sing, from a life and heart, just sing. When the night is darkest, sing. Let your joy explode and let music fill the air. And sing, when there's nothing else to do, sing. When something deep inside of you tells you that life is still a wonder, just throw back your head and sing. The birds God sent on flashing wings to fill the sky with song. Put music in the brook and crashing seas.
The wind blew through the threads of grass like fingers through the strings of golden harps and made the meadow sing.
Then He said sing, from a life and heart, just sing. When the night is darkest, sing. Let your joy explode and let music fill the air. You can sing, when there's nothing else to do, sing. When something deep inside of you tells you that life is still a wonder, just throw back your head and sing.
The psalmist said, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before His presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, He is God. It is He that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are His people and the sheep of His pasture. Enter into His gates with thanksgiving, and into His courts with praise. Be thankful unto Him, and bless His name. For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting, and His truth endureth to all generations."
Then He said sing, from a life and heart, just sing. When the night is darkest, sing. Let your joy explode and let music fill the air.
You can sing,
When there's nothing else to do, sing.
I'm defenseless against the enemy. This hand-me-down armor doesn't suit me. I've got the only weapon I need. 'Cause the giant here before me doesn't see the God behind me. If he did, he'd be on his knees. I come in the name of the one who's greater. Nobody can run his name into the ground. 'Cause the rock that I've got is a mighty Savior. And before I swing that stone and sling around, I know my Goliath is coming. I wasn't in it. The lines were drawn on a hill called Calvary. Heaven sent the Rock of Ages to fight it for me. And death went down forever in defeat. There's no weapon formed against me, stronger than the God who's with me. The cornerstone is my victory. I come in the name of the one who's greater. Nobody can run his name into the ground. 'Cause the rock that I've got is a mighty Savior. And before I swing that stone and sling around, I know my Goliath is coming down. The fear that robs me, it's coming down. The doubt that shakes me, it's coming down. Bitterness and envy, they're coming down. The gates of hell will not prevail, 'cause they're coming down. I come in the name of the one who's greater. Nobody can run his name into the ground. 'Cause the rock that I've got is a mighty Savior. And before I swing that stone and sling around, I know my Goliath is coming down. Oh, you know he's coming down. Oh, he's coming down.
My name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. You are listening to The Morning Show. Today wraps up our birthday week. Hadn't it been fun? We've had a panel. We've had lots of kids. We've thrown it back. And today, well, we've got special guests today. Southbound's going to be here about 6:45 this morning, right here on The Morning Show to talk about that new song, Lost and Found. It's out today. You can download the song right now from wherever you get your music, and we want you to do that. We want to support this new song by Southbound because it is sure a winner, Lost and Found. So we're looking forward to talking to Southbound this morning. And then second hour today, well, we're just going to hear lots of little clips from some of our favorite interviews from the past year because today's the last day of our birthday week. So we've got to get it in today because we just don't have a good excuse to do that anymore after today. It'll be a whole lot of fun. So stay tuned for Southbound, and second hour we'll be looking back one more time. This one's been a favorite of mine over the past year. It's not a new song. It's just been kind of a theme for me because there's been lots of days we just had to put our boots on and climb, sister, climb. And we're still climbing. Here's Jeff and Sherry.
Right now you feel like you'd rather be anywhere else than here where you are. 'Cause life has a way of arranging your plans, and the journey you're on is so hard. Oh, the mountain is high and the road up the side is much steeper than you thought it'd be. But you're out of breath, you're scared half to death, you won't have the faith to believe. But grace, sweet grace, has strengthened you time after time. So don't be afraid of the mountain, 'cause friend, you were born to climb. God has not given a spirit of fear or a burden you cannot bear. Just at the moment you feel hope is fading, behold the Lord standing right there. Oh, the mountain is high and the road up the side is much steeper than you thought it'd be. You're out of breath, you're scared half to death, you won't have the faith to believe. But grace, sweet grace, has strengthened you time after time. So don't be afraid of the mountain, 'cause friend, you were born to climb. You have been called to be more than you were before. Just set your sights on heavenly heights and trust in the Lord. Oh, the mountain is high and the road up the side is much steeper than you thought it'd be. You're out of breath, scared half to death, you won't have the faith to believe. Grace, sweet grace, has strengthened you time after time. So don't be afraid of the mountain, 'cause friend, you were born to climb. Don't be afraid of the mountain, 'cause friend, you were born to climb.
Here's something short from Shane today. He says, today is yesterday's tomorrow. Tomorrow is the next day's yesterday. Now is the best time you're ever going to have to do what it is you should be doing. That's what Mr. Roark said. We have today. That's it. And may not have all of today. We are not promised that the day will end. We only have this very second. So whatever it is you need to do, you want to do, you are supposed to do, well, we better get to it. Time's running out, my friend. Time is running out. Here's the new one from Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers. I've never played it, but I sure do like it. A goal of mine for 2023 is to get these guys right here on the show. I've never met Joe Mullins, but it's on my bucket list. If anybody out there knows him or has a connection to him, would you help a sister out? Hook us up with Joe Mullins.
He was just a country preacher pronouncing benediction. His message had been simple, a child could understand. He looked out from the pulpit, he closed his tattered Bible, said, bow your heads, close your eyes, and take your neighbor's hand. And now go spread the gospel. Use as few words as possible. They'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. Let your life be a beacon. Let your light shine for Jesus. Go spread the gospel as we leave this place. Said when you get down to it, it's not that complicated. We're all his disciples, like Peter, James, and Paul. No, we're not great physicians, and we can't feed the masses, but we can tell the world about the man who did it all. And now go spread the gospel. Use as few words as possible. They'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. We can all be a witness to his grace and forgiveness. Go spread the gospel as we leave this place. Go tell the greatest story of the cross and all the glory of the risen Savior and an empty grave. And now go spread the gospel. Use as few words as possible. They'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. Let your life be a beacon. Let your light shine for Jesus. Go spread the gospel as we leave this place.
1 year ago, Miss Natalie got the idea to start a Southern Gospel radio program, and she named it The Morning Show. I am so thankful that she called me and asked me if I would like to be her announcer. We have had a blast along the way. Yeah, there's been some hiccups, but through it all, it has continued to grow, and Miss Natalie keeps playing the best music this side of heaven. Our sponsors have grown, but most importantly, our listening audience has grown. And for that, and each and every one of you, we will be eternally grateful. Hey, thanks for supporting everyone here at The Morning Show, especially Miss Natalie. Have a great 2023, and may the Lord richly bless you.
Everybody's born into a broken world. Everybody's wearing Adam's chains. Everybody's searching for salvation, but it's only found in one name. And the desperate make their way to a lonely hill. They come with every guilty stain, where the ground runs like crimson as mercy falls like healing rain. It runs down the timbers of a rugged tree, pours out like a river on you and me, till every sin is washed away in the cleansing flood. Yeah, that's what the blood does. Does anybody here feel like a hopeless cause? Is anybody empty in your soul? Anybody tried it all but still looking for that one thing? Step on in to the healing flow, where it That's what the blood does. That's what the blood does. That's what the blood does. Runs down the timbers of a rugged tree. It pours out like a river on you and me, till every sin is washed away in the cleansing flood. Yeah, that's what the blood does. Oh, yes, that's what the blood does.
Music, ministry, and more. It's The Morning Show with Natalie Duncan-Emmons.
You're listening to The Morning Show. And now, with your patriotic point of view, here's Larry Gressett.
Rising above the Black Hills of South Dakota, Mount Rushmore National Memorial is a stunning sight to behold. Audacious in scale and magnificent in artistry, the massive sculpture is a memorial to 4 American presidents and so much more. The idea of a large mountain carving is credited to South Dakota State historian Doane Robinson, who was looking for ways to attract tourists to the state. Recruiting renowned sculptor Gutzon Borglum to the project, Doane and other prominent South Dakota leaders secured congressional support in 1925 and began to raise funds, including $250,000 from the federal government. Carving began on October 4th, 1927, removing tons of granite and slowly shaping the mountain. Originally meant to portray the presidents to the waist, only the heads were finished. Borglum's death in 1941, along with the impending American involvement in World War II, led to the end of the work on the mountain. On October 31st, 1941, Mount Rushmore National Memorial was declared a completed project. Robinson's original idea for the memorial was to portray heroes of the American West, including Meriwether Lewis, William Clark, Buffalo Bill Cody, and Red Cloud. However, Borglum wanted to appeal to a national audience and suggested featuring 4 presidents, representing important events and themes in our history. Presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt were selected. Each face is approximately 60 feet in height, with noses longer than 20 feet. The mouths are also about 18 feet wide. Mount Rushmore, a national memorial and treasure. I'm Larry Gressett with your patriotic point of view.
The Patriotic Point of View was brought to you by Joe McGee Construction. Joe McGee Construction believes family is one of God's greatest gifts. Family owned and operated for the past 33 years, Joe McGee Construction is the proud employer of some of Mississippi's best tradesmen. Together, we are supporting our communities and working hard to ensure that every commute to work and every ride to school brings us safely home to our loved ones. Valuing faith, family, and the Magnolia State, Joe McGee Construction is building safer roads for a better Mississippi. Joe McGee is my friend, and I thank him for helping us bring you the best mix of Southern gospel music, along with your patriotic point of view here on The Morning Show.
I remember when I was a lad, times were hard and things were bad, but there's a silver lining behind every cloud. Just 4 people, that's all we were, trying to make a living out of black land dirt. We get together in a family circle singing loud. Daddy sang bass,
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother would join right in there. Singing seems to help a troubled soul. One of these days, it won't be long, I'll rejoin them in a song. I'm gonna join the family circle at the throne. No, the circle won't be broken. By and by, Lord, by
sang bass.
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother would join right in there in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Calling all of us, you could hear us singing for a country mile. Now little brother is done gone on, but I'll rejoin him in a song. We'll be together again up yonder in a little while.
Daddy sang bass.
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother would join right in there, 'cause singing seems to help a troubled soul. One of these days, it won't be long, I'll rejoin them in a song. I'm gonna join the family circle at the throne. Oh no, the circle won't be broken. By and by, Lord, by and by.
Daddy sang bass.
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother would join right in there in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Oh no, the circle won't be broken. By and by, Lord, by and by.
Daddy sang bass.
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother would join right in there in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Hold on. I know it won't be long
Till we reach that city.
in the air.
He went to prepare.
Well, pray up, and always look up.
Look for my
Savior coming back in the cloud. Well, trials and troubles in your daily routine can get you sidetracked if you know what I mean. But my Lord Jesus, He's mighty and strong.
He can fix your troubles and it won't take long.
Well, hold on. I know it won't be long
till we reach that city.
in the air.
He went to prepare.
Well, pray up, and always look up.
Look for my
Savior coming back in the cloud. Well, Jesus left, but He'll be back one day. So until then, never cease to pray. He went to build a place for you and me.
Where we'll live together for eternity.
Well, hold on. I know it won't be long
till we reach that city.
in the air.
He went to prepare.
Well, pray up, and always look up.
Look for my
Savior coming back in the cloud.
Look for my
Savior coming back in the cloud.
Well, I want to talk to you about the good folks over at Hometown Roots in Sebastopol, Mississippi. They have restocked on a lot of things over there. They are completely stocked with home decor. If you need anything for your home, well, they have what you are looking for. You can see examples over there on the fake book. It's real simple to look at, but they have top-notch decorations over at Hometown Roots. If you're needing a gift for a man in your life, well, they can take care of that. They have the Simply Southern long sleeve t-shirts for the men. They are beautiful, beautiful shirts, and they're excellent quality. So you can't go wrong with that. And then if you like jewelry, this is the time you need to go to Hometown Roots because they are restocked on their jewelry. Simply Be Design, they have loaded down Hometown Roots, and this jewelry is beautiful. You need to see it. So this is a good time to just go see what all is back in stock. You can look online. You can go to the store, 601-625-7512. Hey, Hometown Roots is always the place to be.
I know what the devil looks like. He's one more shot of bourbon after midnight. He's a red dress that don't know right from wrong. And he's a bad choice dancing with a song. I know where the devil likes to walk, on hot coals down dingy hotel halls, and memory lanes to dig up what you did wrong. That's where the devil likes to walk. And I guess you could call him a prophet, 'cause he'll show you all your sins, and he'll scare you straight as whiskey if you get too close to him. But sometimes you find the light running from your demons. And that's how the devil led me to Jesus. I know why the devil never sleeps, 'cause he loves to talk you right out of your dreams. But he probably should have left well enough alone, while that Bible on the dresser was still closed. And I guess you could call him a prophet, 'cause he'll show you all your sins. He's a beautiful fire till the pain starts setting in. Yeah, sometimes you find the light running from your demons. And that's how the devil led me to Jesus. I had nowhere left to turn, so I really had no choice but to fall down on my knees and cry out to the Lord. Yeah, sometimes you find the light running from your demons. I had to put a whole lot of distance in between us. And that's how the devil led me to Jesus.
Have you been to Jesus for his cleansing power? Are you walking daily by the Savior's side? Are you fully trusting in his grace this hour? Do you know the freedom that the Lord provides? Oh, come and drink from this fountain of life. Dance in the water and know his delight. See streams of mercy that never run dry. Come to the fountain, drink from this fountain of life. This fountain of life. Say, throw off your worries, give him all your cares. Come and leave your shame here at the Savior's cross. He's the only answer for the load you bear. Have you been to the water? Have you been to the water? Oh, come and drink from this fountain of life. Dance in the water and know his delight. See streams of mercy that never run dry. Come to the fountain, drink from this fountain of life. This fountain of life. Life. This fountain of life. I was wrapped in my grave clothes and now they're untied. I was more dead than Lazarus, he brought me to life. Now I know resurrection and death has no sting. I ran to the water, I drank from the water. Oh, come and drink from this fountain of life. Dance
My name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. You are listening to The Morning Show. And we have friends this morning, special guest. They're actually our favorites. Clint Brown, Seth Elby, and Jody Brazelton. You know them as Southbound. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah. Well, look, today's a big day for Southbound. It's January the 13th. We have been waiting for this day. Well, it seems like forever because I heard the song months ago and fell in love with it. But today, everybody gets to hear it and experience it. Tell me about the new song, Lost and Found. We're crazy about it.
Well, we're excited about this day because we've been waiting as well. You know, when you write something, you record it months and months and months ago. And so we're really excited about it. And you heard it at NQC, and we really weren't going to release anything until later in 23, but because of what happened at that conference and the demand from the radio stations and all the people that you saw in the lobby were coming up to us saying, we want that song now. And so we kind of rushed it up ahead of time and went out to radio, and it's been doing phenomenal. We've been doing interviews ever since it's been released to radio about it. But we're excited. It's the first single for our second album, sophomore album for Southbound, and couldn't be more excited about not only Lost and Found, but about the album that's going to be coming out February the 17th as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. There's album number 2. It's coming out. I didn't know the date, but you said it's February the 17th.
That's right. Yep, we're really excited.
So not long now. I have heard that entire album, and I'll say this, a lot of times when people put out their debut album number 1, sometimes album number 2 is, well, sometimes it's a letdown because they either try to do something totally different from the first album and you go, hey, that's not what we wanted, or they just make the first album all over again. But you guys knocked it out of the park with this album right here. And I didn't think you could get any better than that first album that was self-titled Southbound. But this one is much better. This is a better album than the first one. The songs are phenomenal. The sound is phenomenal. My first time I listened to it, I didn't know if I was listening to the Gatlin Brothers or if I was listening to you remember the group Mid-South Boys from a couple of decades ago, or even Diamond Rio. And that's a compliment, my friend. It was just a mix of so many phenomenal sounds. And you do just what only Southbound can do, I guess. It's just your thing.
Well, we really appreciate it. We're, like Bishop said, there's a lot of people that, that are writers, and you go and you write songs and you record songs, and then you just kind of have to wait to see what people, what their reaction to it and see if they like it as much as you do,
Yeah.
And, so we're really excited about just some of the response that we've got so far. And, we're really blessed by that. And we're excited about the new music.
Well, I would have to write an entire article to really, really cover how I feel about this album. But it's amazing. There's not a weak song on it. Seth, I have one question. I only heard you featured on one song. Is that right? Were you featured just on? Did you do the lead on one?
Yeah, I think. Yes, yep. On Yes He Can. Yep, that's right.
That's the only one. That is my only. That's my only complaint. We need an album with 15 songs so that everybody can be featured. Way a whole lot.
Hey, he's the only one that can hit those high notes. We gotta have him.
You know what, Natalie? Yeah. The other thing, not everybody can consistently carry the mail for that many songs. Yeah. And so, we just we take it easy on Seth because, not everybody can handle that weight.
I guess not.
Let's be honest. Not everybody can hit these high notes like Jody said.
Well, the formula that you have works. So whatever you've got going on, don't change it. I was just playing with Seth because I did notice Seth. I didn't hear Seth featured a whole lot. And I thought, I'd like to hear Seth a little bit more. But when you got Jody Brazelton and Clint Brown, you can't go wrong putting them on the lead either. It's a win-win-win with Southbound every single time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you, we're just so humbled by that.
Yeah, well, it's the truth. It's the truth. I've said this before to you, Clint. I've predicted number one songs before, and I've proven not to be a prophetess in any way. But this will be your first number one song, and it's way beyond just a number one song. If there was any justice in the world, it would be Song of the Year next year. It's that quality song. It should be receiving something for Song of the Year somewhere down the road. We'll have to wait and see, but it's that kind of song. It really is.
Well, I appreciate that coming from you. I really do, because I think that of all the people that we've interviewed with, and we've interviewed with a lot of people, there's just a respect for you that is head and shoulders above the rest, because we know that you don't listen just with your head, you listen with your heart. And so, it means a lot to us. And, when we came there to Mississippi to your church, we just, we left there and just said, man, these people get anointed music. They get it. They're not just sitting there to be entertained. They're not just sitting there for us to put on some kind of show. They are here because the music touches their heart and their soul. And I think that is branches that come out of the root of your love for it. And so anytime you say something like that, we take it to heart, and it means a lot to us.
Well, I appreciate that. This would be a good time to announce, because we have not announced until today, but we are bringing Southbound back to Mississippi. Yes, we are. March the 31st, you guys will be back at Salem Baptist Church in Lake, Mississippi. So we're pumped about that. That's not too far away.
Well, and people ask us on riders and stuff, because every group has that. What do you demand? What do you want? What do you need? And I was going to say, we demand to go to Lee's, but
Yeah.
after eating Sunday afternoon what the church prepared.
My God, y'all took care of us.
We tried to.
I mean, I love Lee's, but Lee ain't got nothing on Salem's people. I'm telling you, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we can't wait to come back. And you know what, Natalie? I've had a lot of people that have inboxed us on our Facebook and our Instagram and said, when are you coming back to Mississippi? We're so sad we missed it. We can't believe we missed it. And so there's a lot of people that I think are going to be there on the 31st of March that were not there the first time we came. So we're excited about seeing you guys all over again, eating the food that we demand that you cook. And
it's not an option.
all of those fans that you say are there. We're excited about it.
All right. Well, look, we want to have you guys back as our featured artist. We've had you before. As a matter of fact, it's been almost exactly a year ago that we had you as our featured artist. You were the third featured artist of the morning show, number 3. And we want to do it again the week that the album comes out. So can I just go ahead and get a commitment from you guys that
Absolutely.
the week of February the 17th, we'll have you back? All week long, we're going to feature that album every day. We'll play songs from that album, and then we'll have you back.
Absolutely. It's done. Done deal.
Done. That'll give us something to look forward to, and we're looking forward to March the 31st. Lots of good things in store for our friends Southbound. We love the song. We're fixing to play it. Congratulations, guys. This one is a winner.
Thank you so much. And can I just say to everybody that's listening, download it right now. It's available wherever you get your music. Pandora, Spotify, Apple Play, iTunes. It doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Go download this song.
Anyway.
I promise you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, we've been talking about that all week long. All the listeners of the morning show will have this downloaded by the end of the day. I feel pretty sure about that. We're already fans, and this one right here, wow, it's the best one yet. And Tate says hello. Tate's getting ready for school this morning, but he said please to tell you guys how much he loved you. You know, Tate.
Well, we want to meet with Tate when we get there, and we want to find out, how do you get 500,000 views on TikTok?
Clint. He has over 6 million views now on TikTok.
Good Lord.
Yes.
Well, we're hiring him. We're going to hire him as our TikTok promoter.
All right. He loves you guys and can't wait to see you on March the 31st.
All right. All right. We love you.
Love you.
All right. We're waiting to see what this song does. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. We'll talk soon.
All right. We love you.
Love you too. See you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, here it is. Lost and Found by Southbound. If you haven't downloaded it, today is the day. Go out there and get it. You'll have it to listen to whenever you want to, and that'll be all the time. Here it is, Lost and Found.
I won't forget the night I stepped out of my pew, walked down the aisle, my running days were through. I knelt at the altar just as I am, gave my life to the Father and left a brand new man. Now I'm a member of the lost and found. The Lord took his pen and wrote my name down. The man that I once was is not the same man now. Everything is better. He claimed me forever. A member of the lost and found. Yeah, they took me to the water and I was baptized. He washed my dark soul like snow made it white. I lifted these two hands, no longer bound. For the first time I stood cleansed and able to shout. Now I'm a member of the lost and found. Lord took his pen and wrote my name down. The man that I once was is not the same man now. Everything is better. He claimed me forever. I'm a member of the lost and found. Now my life is everything he wanted it to be. I am saved, forgiven, so free, totally free. Oh, now I'm a member of the lost and found. I'm so glad. Lord took his pen and wrote my name down. Right now, the man that I once was is not the same man now. I know everything is better. He claimed me forever. A member of the lost and found. Everything is better. He claimed me forever. A member of the lost and
We're glad you're listening this morning to The Morning Show with Natalie Duncan-Emmons. Stay tuned. The best is yet to come.
The more you focus on your difficulty, your hardship, or even your pain when you're suffering, the more you focus on it, what happens? The bigger it gets. Well, I've been going through this, and I've been going through that. And if your friends listen to you and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I feel so sorry for you," the more pity they give you, the bigger it gets, and the bigger it gets, the more you doubt God. And so the issue is focus. And I think, when I think of focus, I think of many instances in the Bible, but one of the primary ones is Daniel in the lion's den. And so the Bible says he slept with the lions all night. If he'd have been focused on lions, he wouldn't have been sleeping. He'd have been over in the corner somewhere, all crouching down, hoping that they wouldn't see him or something. And it brings me back to one of my most favorite illustrations when God just did something for me in one of the most difficult times of my life. It probably was one up to the very top. And this lady came to see me, and she said, I want you to have lunch with me, and then I want to take you up to my apartment and show you something. Well, she was about 70-something, and I was 30-something, so I felt pretty safe. And we ate lunch, and I went to see her, and I was going through a very difficult time at church. They were doing their best trying to get rid of me. And so we walked in. She said, now, don't sit down. I want to show you something. Walked over and showed me this picture of Daniel in the lion's den. And she said, now, son, I want you to tell me what you see. So I said, well, and I can still remember looking at that picture. I see this lion over here looking up, and this one looking down, and see the bones. And so I thought of everything this little lady could possibly have thought about. And she said, well, do you see anything else? I said, no. She said, if you'll notice. And the picture had all these lines, and Daniel had his hands behind him. He's looking at this ray of light. She said, what I want you to see is Daniel doesn't have his eyes on the lions, but on God. It was like God hugged me that day. Because from that moment on, all of my fears disappeared, and all of my uncertainties, and a lot of other things probably disappeared, because she got my focus right.
The Pastor's Perspective was brought to you by Salem Baptist Church in Lake, Mississippi. Salem is my home church, and I'm thrilled that they've partnered with The Morning Show to help us bring you, well, not only the best music in the world, but encouragement and words of life straight from God's Word. Brother Larry Duncan and the entire congregation at Salem, they invite you to come and visit whenever you get the chance. We're located just a few miles off of I-20 coming through mid-Mississippi. So if you live in our area, if you're ever traveling through our area on a Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, well, you stop off the lake exit and visit with us. Thank you to Salem Baptist Church for bringing you your pastor's perspective.
He's a mighty good friend. He's a mighty good friend. He's a mighty good friend. Jesus, my Lord, is a mighty good friend. When I'm in trouble, he's there on the double. When I fall down, helps me come around. He'll go with me to my journey's end. Jesus Christ, my Lord, is a mighty good friend. My sin and my sickness, he has healed them all. Even when I'm far away, hears me when I call. Things won't always come to pass the way I think they should, but I've got a heartfelt peace. He's working all things for my good. He's a mighty good friend. He's a mighty good friend. Jesus, my Lord, is a mighty good friend. When I'm in trouble, he's there on the double. When I fall down, helps me come around. He'll go with me to my journey's end. Jesus Christ, my Lord, is a mighty good friend. Today and tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, throughout the endless ages, my Savior will be near. In fair and stormy weather, no matter where I go, we'll always be together. He's the dearest friend I know. He's a mighty good friend. He's a mighty good friend. Jesus, my Lord, is a mighty good friend. When I'm in trouble, he's there on the double. When I fall down, helps me come around.
Lord is a mighty good friend. He's a mighty good friend. He's a mighty good friend.
Moments on the show. Just a few. That's all. Hope you enjoy it. All right, let's go to Christmas. Jay, I want to know if you've got a favorite Christmas movie. Are you like that? Do you like to watch Christmas movies?
No. You know what, Natalie? You have picked the wrong guy for this show.
Let's just quit. Let's just quit right now.
It's been nice. Thanks for having me, Natalie.
Next song. Here's Michael Booth, the Booth Brothers.
Our influences, though we grew up with our dad singing Southern gospel, Ronnie and I were heavily influenced by the 80s and 70s pop and country music of Restless Heart, the Oak Ridge Boys, Statler Brothers, even into Journey and some of these other 38 Special. So that is why now, though we're in the Southern gospel genre, if you listen closely, you'll hear the influences of all those other genres.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you different. You are classified as Southern gospel music, but you have your, the sound is unique. The sound, is its own. It's not the typical Southern gospel sound. Yeah.
It's just different. I really don't know how to categorize it other than, just a combination of influences. And we try to stay within our abilities and not prove what we cannot do. There's no point in everybody knowing what you're incapable of doing.
That's good. Yeah. Here's a little clip from Gary Casto and the Tribute Quartet. Good news from Jerusalem. We love it. Can't get enough of it. Sing it over and over, my friend.
Oh my goodness, what a song. That song was our signature song, our career song that really let folks know that Tribute was out there. And I'll never forget, at that time, Roger Talley was producing Tribute. And we were at his and Miss Deborah's home listening to songs. And this song was written by Jerry Salley and Miss Diane Wilkinson. And when I heard the demo, it was very country and bluegrass. And I said, we're not doing that. And Roger and the guys kept saying, Gary, we've got to, I said, I'm not doing this. So I got a call or something and I stepped away. And while I was gone, Roger asked the guys, will y'all let me give me one more shot with him? I think I could make him understand what I want with this song. And so absolutely, I came back and he says, will you come over here to the piano? I want to show you what I want to do with this song. I said, Roger, we've been down this road. He said, no, one more shot. And then I looked over and Miss Deborah says, will you do it for me? And I was like, oh, how can you tell Miss Deborah no? So I did, and I went over there, and then I was like, oh, I get it now. I see it. And it's a great song. And the story with that even goes a little bit further, Natalie, the song was I was supposed to have the lead on that song. And during all that time, during the time of song selection and after that, the Lord had me on a fast. And I was fasting and praying about our ministry and a lot of things. And I'll never forget one morning early, the Lord said, this song is for Josh. And I said, but Lord, I'm finally getting a song that everybody loves. And the Lord says, your song will come. This is for Josh. So I had to call Roger up and I had to call the record company up and say, guys, this song, I know you're working on arrangements, keys, it has to be changed over to Josh. And they said, are you sure? And I said, this is what's going on. The Lord told me I'm in the middle of a fast and I have to do what the Lord said. And they said, okay. And that's how that song changed from me taking the lead to Josh taking the lead.
I'm glad Roger tried one more time with you over there at the piano.
Yeah, he never lets me forget it either. He's always like, remember that time? Yes, Roger, I do.
We would have missed out. Let's play it this morning on the morning show. We've loved this song for about, 10 years now? At least 10 years or so. Here's the Tribute Quartet, Good News from Jerusalem.
Jesus was a man who was not like any other.
He preached about judgment and a kingdom soon to come. Oh, the people had never heard words like these. He stirred up the scribes and the Pharisees. So they began to plot against God's one and only Son. They led him before the courts and the halls of Pilate. In a trial they mocked and condemned this righteous man. Pilate listened to the crowd and he knew they lied, but when he heard the people cry, crucify, he tried, but he couldn't wash the blood from his guilty hands. Jesus died on a lonely hill they called Mount Calvary. They laid him in a tomb and a stone sealed him inside. But 3 days later, when the women came, shocked and excited, when they reached his grave, they ran back to town and everybody heard him cry. Good news from Jerusalem, a cross on a hill where the debt was paid, an empty tomb where his body lay, a small upper room where they saw he was glorified. Good news from Jerusalem, he's alive, he's alive, he's alive. Good news from Jerusalem, he's alive, he's alive, he's alive. 2,000 years have passed since he ascended. Oh, wars rage on in a world so lost in sin. Troubles and trials on every hand, but peace is coming to the promised land. When the King comes back, we'll shout it again and again. Good news from Jerusalem, a sign in the sky every eye can see. A crown that will last for eternity, a throne for a king who had long been prophesied. Good news from Jerusalem, he's alive, he's alive, he's alive. Good news, he's alive. A sign in the sky every eye can see, a crown that will last for eternity, a throne for a king who had long been prophesied. From Jerusalem, good news from Jerusalem, good news from Jerusalem. He's alive, he's alive, he's alive. Good news, he's alive. Good news, he's alive. He's alive.
Well, hey, sister, I'm right here with you. And thank you for what you do for our business and what you're doing for the Real Southern Gospel Quartet. We're a fan of you, girl. I want you to know that. We love you.
That's awful kind. Terry and I are old friends. We've had Terry on the show before with the Port City Quartet.
Yes.
Look, I started playing that Arise. And first thing I did was went to Les Butler's number. I said, who are these guys right here and how do I find the Port City Quartet? Because you know how much we love that song Arise. And look, and that bass singer of yours is pretty phenomenal too. So we love Port City. I love Terry Carter.
Sounds good. I love you too, girl. Thank you for what you're doing for us. You're a blessing.
Balsam Range has been a big feature on the morning show the past year. Here's Tim Sir.
It's just the Highland country up here where we come from, and that lends itself to the music. That's the kind it's the kind of music you grow up on around here, especially somebody my age. It's fiddle tunes and old time mountain music and dancing, which is they still have a street dance in Waynesville here, and there'll be 2,000 or 3,000 people here. They close down the main street and have a big public square dance on Friday nights in the summer. It's just magical, and it's just a big part of the Smoky Mountains where we grew up here.
And I'll say one more thing about Balsam Range. Every single song sounds like it could be a soundtrack to a movie. when I cut it on, it almost is like there should be an image on the screen, and I should be watching a movie that goes along with what you're singing. So that's a compliment. I don't know, pretty cool.
Well, you know that we have, like I say, all five of us are from Haywood County, North Carolina, and we have a sixth guy named Mylon Miller, who is a great songwriter and singer in his own right. But he writes a ton of our songs and a lot of the number one songs, and they are like little movie clips. And, you know, we take a lot of pride in that. And if we can somehow conjure up that feeling of what it's like here in the mountains, then I think we've done our job to a degree. And we have been blessed with great songs and great friends that write the songs and, you know, little vignettes, I guess you might say, of the culture where we live.
Well, here's one of those songs. I love this one. It's called Wide River to Cross. Here's Balsam Range.
There's a sorrow in the wind blowing down the road I've been. I can hear it cry while shadows steal the sun. But I cannot look back now. I've come too far to turn around, and there's still a race ahead that I must run. I'm only halfway home. I got a journey home to where I'll find the things I have lost. I've come a long, long road. Still I got miles to go. I've got a wide, wide river to cross. Stumbled, I have strayed. You can trace the tracks I've made all across the memories my heart recalls. But I'm just a refugee. Won't you say a prayer for me? 'Cause sometimes even the strongest soldier falls. I'm only halfway home. I got a journey home to where I'll find the things I have lost. I've come a long, long road. Still I got miles to go. I've got a wide, wide river to cross. I've come a long, long road. Still I got miles to go. I've got a wide, wide river to cross.
Two dear friends of mine, Joey and Rory Feek. Many people know who Joey and Rory are. They recorded some with Bill and Gloria, and Joey fought a very courageous battle with cancer. And she went home to be with the Lord in 2016, March of 2016. And just a dear, dear friend. And I remain friends with Rory to this day. And they're just wonderful people. You know, little Indiana, their daughter, the whole family. Mm-hmm. Joey had requested that I sing Leave It There at her graveside. And so I did that and was honored to do it. And that's where Bill Gaither heard me sing for the very first time. We were outdoors by Joey's grave on their farm there in Tennessee, and no PA system, no nothing. You know, it was just me and two dear friends of mine. We were singing Leave It There, and about a week or so after her service, I got the call and they said that Bill had heard me and that the Gaithers were interested in talking and possibly doing a video, doing a recording and all this. And it just, everything happened really fast. But that's how I came to be associated and be a part of the Homecoming family with Bill and Gloria. It just shows how God can take any situation, even a tragic situation like that, and bring something good from it.
Leave it there, leave it there. Take your burden to the Lord, oh, and leave it there. If you trust Him through your doubt, He will surely bring you out. Take your burden to the Lord, leave it there. If the world from you withholds of its silver and its gold, and you have to get along with meager fare, just remember in His word how He feeds the little birds. Take your burden to the Lord, leave it there. Leave it there, leave it there. Take your burden to the Lord, oh, and leave it there. If you trust Him through your doubt, He will surely bring you out. Take your burden to the Lord, leave it there. If your body suffers pain and your health you can't regain, and your soul is slowly sinking in despair, Jesus knows the pain you feel. He can save and He can heal. Take your burden to the Lord, leave it there. Leave it there, leave it there. Just take your burden to the Lord, oh, and leave it there. If you trust Him through your doubt, He will surely bring you out. Take your burden to the Lord, leave it there. Take your burden to the Lord and leave it there.
y'all.
Thank you, Lord, for the small things, like me and her on a porch swing, for summer nights and fireflies and the sound of my old six string. Blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings. If I still got breath in these lungs, then that's all I need to get down on my knees and be thankful for all that he's done. For my mama, for my friends, for your love that never ends, for the songs that make us dance on this old dirt floor. For my babies, for my girl, for the way they changed my world. And waking up today, yeah, I just gotta say thank you, Lord. Yeah, I just wanna say thank you, Lord. Oh, now.
Thank you, Lord, for the hard times, for lighting the way in the dark times, for pulling me in, forgiving again the times that I took it too far. I gotta thank you for keeping me humble, for picking me up when I stumble. And although I change, you stay the same, and I don't say thank you enough.
For my mama, for my friends, for your love that never ends, for the songs that make us dance on this old dirt floor. For my babies, for my girl, for the way they changed my world. Waking up today, yeah, I just gotta say thank you, Lord. I just wanna say thank you, Lord. Oh, yeah. Praise up, eyes closed. One thing I know, I just wanna thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Praise up, eyes closed. One thing I know, I just wanna thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. For my mama, for my friends, for your love that never ends, for the songs that make us dance on this old dirt floor. For my babies, for my girl, for the way they changed my world. Waking up today, yeah, I just gotta say thank you, Lord. Praise up, I just wanna say thank you, Lord. I just wanna thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Praise up, eyes closed. One thing I know, I just wanna say thank you, Lord.
We're glad you're listening this morning to The Morning Show with Natalie Duncan-Emmons. Stay tuned. The best is yet to come.
You're listening to The Morning Show. And now it's time for a few moments of laughter with the queen of gospel comedy, Chonda Pierce.
But I didn't adhere to all the things that my mother did and the ways that she did them. I don't cook like she does. She fried everything. My hips don't lie. I grew up with fried food. I don't care what it was, you're gonna fry it. Fried pickles, fried tomatoes, we fry. Fried squash, fried zucchini. There was no steaming in our house. If there was steaming in our house, it meant the air conditioner was broken because we are going to fry food. My mother fried mashed potatoes. I kid you not, you put some grated cheese in there, you ball them up, you pat them out, put powdered sugar on them, and then you fry them in bacon grease. And it's the best thing you've ever eaten in your life. Look, everybody's going, ooh, that's a... 3 women writing that down right now. Oh, I didn't know about the powdered sugar.
The comedy segment was brought to you by John G. Weatherford Incorporated. John G. Weatherford Incorporated? Well, they're proud to be connected to the morning show. They're known to most as Weatherford Oil. They're a third-generation owned and operated family business that values God, family, employees, and customers. For over 40 years, they've been providing diesel, gasoline, motor oil, hydraulic fluid, grease, and logging supplies to some of Mississippi's best loggers, farmers, chicken growers, land managers, municipalities, individuals, and convenience stores. Whether you need large or small quantities, well, they'd love the opportunity to talk to you about supplying all of your fuel and oil needs. With 2 locations, they proudly serve Scott, Lauderdale, Newton, Smith, Neshoba, Jasper, Clark, Kemper, Rankin, and Leake counties. If you appreciate Weatherford Oil helping to bring you the morning show, well, we would appreciate it if you'd call John at Meridian 601-693-0981, 601-693-0981, or Jason in Forest, 601-469-3931. That's 601-469-3931. And let them take care of all of your fuel and oil needs. We appreciate them. We appreciate you.
They tell me of a land, a wonderful place where Jesus shows his smiling face, and they tell me that there is no night. They tell me that the heart will never more sigh, nobody there will ever die, and the saints of God will walk in white. They tell me of a river, where the healing waters flow. They tell me of a city where pretty flowers grow. They tell me of a place where comes no sorrow, yonder in the land of God's tomorrow. This I know, it makes me wanna go, it makes me wanna go. They tell me all the streets are paved with gold like John foresaw in days of old, and they tell me that there is no night. They tell me that the Lord sits on his throne, and we shall know as we are known, and the saints of God will walk in white. They tell me of a river, where the healing waters flow. They tell me of a city where pretty flowers grow. They tell me of a place where comes no sorrow, yonder in the land of God's tomorrow. This I know, it makes me wanna go, it makes me wanna go. They tell me in that home above we'll walk and talk in perfect love, and they tell me that there is no night. They tell me that we'll have no burdens to bear, for sin can never enter there, and the saints of God will walk in white. They tell me of a river, where the healing waters flow. They tell me of a city where pretty flowers grow. They tell me of a place where comes no sorrow, yonder in the land of God's tomorrow. This I know, it makes me wanna go, it makes me wanna go. Are you past the point of weary? Is your burden weighing heavy? Is it all too much to carry? Let me tell you about my Jesus. Do you feel that empty feeling? 'Cause shame's done all it's stealing, and you're desperate for some healing. Let me tell you about my Jesus. He makes a way when there ain't no way, rises up from an empty grave. Ain't no sinner that he can't save. Let me tell you about my Jesus. His love is strong and his grace is free, and the good news is I know that he can do for you what he's done for me. Let me tell you about my Jesus, and let my Jesus change your life. Hallelujah.
to disappear. Oh, let me tell you about my Jesus and all the wrong turns that you would go and undo if you could. Who can work it all for your good? Oh, let me tell you about my Jesus. He makes a way when there ain't no way, rises up from an empty grave. Ain't no sinner that he can't save. Let me tell you about my Jesus. His love is strong and his grace is free, and the good news is I know that he can do for you what he's done for me. Let me tell you about my Jesus, and let my Jesus change your life. Hallelujah, 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 amen, amen, amen. Who would take my cross to Calvary, pay the price for all my guilty? Who would care that much about me? Let me tell you about my Jesus. Oh, he makes a way when there ain't no way, rises up from an empty grave. Ain't no sinner that he can't save. Let me tell you about my Jesus. His love is strong and his grace is free, and the good news is I know that he can do for you what he's done for me. Let me tell you about my Jesus, and let my Jesus change your life. Hallelujah, 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 amen, amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Let my Jesus change your life.
Okay, I didn't get them all in the first time. Here's just a few more little clips. There's just so many. This is our last day to get to do it. This has been Triumphant Week. We've been celebrating the Triumphant Quartet all week long. And today, well, we have one of those guys here with us, Mr. Scotty Inman, the baritone and the youngest member of the group. Good morning, Scotty.
Man, I love that you said the youngest member. That's my favorite part of that whole introduction.
Yeah, we had to.
The youngest member.
We had to draw that out for sure. Of course, I mean, you guys have been going 20 years, so that's not saying a whole lot anymore, Scotty.
I know. I'm not the youngest of old. I'm the youngest of the old, I guess is what it should be.
Hebron Road. Alan Monk, Jared Monk, and Rick Briscoe. They make up this new gospel trio, and they're right here on The Morning Show. You there, guys?
We're here. Good morning.
Look, we've been looking forward to this all week long. We're pumped about it.
We are too. Thanks for having us on your show.
It's a whole lot of fun to debut a group like this. We don't get to do this every day. Something new.
Well, you know what? We don't debut very often either.
It's a first for all of us. But how cool is it? We had a good laugh with Karen Peck and New River. And I don't know how you do it after 20 plus years of ministry. The love for Karen Peck and New River, it is stronger and it is more fresh than it's ever been. You keep looking younger and you keep sounding better. I don't know how you do that, but you do it.
Natalie, you are you're our best friend. Thank you. Susan might especially say thank you.
We had a special moment with Jeff Treese of Sunday Drive.
I am here, and we appreciate you, Natalie, for having us.
Well, Jeff, you probably don't remember me. You wouldn't have any reason to, and we haven't seen each other in over 30 years. But I'll tell you how far back I remember Jeff Treese, and it goes way back to Cedar Ridge days. I want to go there. I mean to go there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we used to have you in Pelahatchie, Mississippi. Y'all would come to our church out in Pelahatchie, and my sister and I were two little girls that sang. And Cedar Ridge actually wrote a song for us called Big Things Come in Small Packages. And we recorded that song.
I remember you all. Y'all were great.
Well, I didn't know if that would ring a bell or not.
Did you all come to our homecoming?
We did. We did come, and we sang on the stage.
I have thought about you all and thought, wonder what happened to them.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, it was great days. And, down at the World's Fair site. And in Knoxville, Tennessee. We had a big concert, and the Duncan sisters were a part of that.
Yeah.
And y'all were just phenomenal. Everybody loved you, and they still love you. And so it's great to reconnect and talk to you too.
It's our friend Reggie Spires. Good morning, Reggie.
Good morning, Natalie. What an honor it is again to be with you on the morning show. I'm so excited.
Well, you know, I told you what last time. I said, we're going to have you back. I guarantee you we will. And we kept our word today. We did.
Yes, thank you so much. You were my first interview with Talking Won't Get It Done, and you're the first one that I'm doing concerning the release of the record. So I'm excited about that.
Well, we just want to keep that rolling. Every time you have something big, we want to be the first ones to put it out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Well, there was never a sweeter moment than when we had Diana Gillette of the Perry Sisters on the morning show. Here's Diana.
My sister Bonnie was our soprano. She had already retired. And so I let her hear that for the first time. And she had always been kind of my sounding board when I write a song. I would let her hear it first and kind of get her opinion. And but she said something to me I didn't expect when she heard They Can't Start the Celebration. And she said something to this effect. She said, you know, whenever the Lord calls me home, I want that to be sung at my service. And I said, okay, you know, and I didn't think much of it at the time, and I thought that day would never come, but that day did come, and the Lord called her home. And she said she wanted that, and she wanted a service. She said, just have church. Just have church. And we did. And Natalie, I tell you, we sang that song, and it meant more to me at that moment than it ever had before, because they cannot start that celebration. The angels can sing a song, but they cannot sing the song of the redeemed. They cannot sing the song that we'll sing. And when we crown Jesus Christ, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords forever, my goodness, what a homecoming we are going to have when our loved ones that have gone on before us, and we finally are reunited again. Praise God, they won't start any celebration until we all get there. And I'm looking forward to that so much. And I know that we've been going through trying times, but you know what? We have to look up and we have to hold on, because Jesus Christ will come. And we just have to know that we're going to be ready when he does.
Wow. It's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. Here it is. They can't start it till I get there. Wow.
A great event shall soon take place. I've been invited by his grace, as the angels are preparing for me to come. For they can't march around the throne, they can't sing victory song, they can't start the celebration till I get there. We'll crown him King of Kings and Lord of Lords forever. A million years will be the sights they shall behold as they walk on a street of gold. They can't start the celebration till I get there. I get
Everything's gonna be alright. Oh, I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Oh, I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Be alright. Be alright. Be alright.
God sent Moses to lead all his people out. But Pharaoh's heart was hard and he thought he'd give them the rout. So he chased them all down to the Red Sea shore. He thought he wouldn't have to worry about old Moses anymore. But Moses stretched his rod out over the sea. And the Lord answered to Moses with a little gentle breeze. I can see Moses now with a smile on his face, telling God's people with his gentle grace.
I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Oh, I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Oh, I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Be alright. Be alright. Be alright.
A little boy named David went out to fight the giant, and everyone laughed at such a funny little sight. A little shepherd boy armed only with a sling beside mighty Goliath seemed such a puny little thing. But David said,
You come to me with spear and a sword. I come to you in the name of the Lord.
He put in a stone and he gave it a fling, and when it left his hand, David, he began to sing.
I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Oh, I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Oh, I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Be alright. Be alright. Be alright.
And now for the greatest story of them all. Jesus was a-dying and the hill had a ball. All the demons were rejoicing, they thought they'd won the war. But soon they would not be laughing anymore. On that first Easter morning, when the sun woke up the earth, and the caverns of the deep opened up as to give birth to a resurrected Savior with healing in his wings. Now the host of children rise and sing.
I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Oh, I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Oh, I got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. 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 It's gonna be alright. Be alright.
Be alright.
Hi, my name is Joy, and I would like to request the song Keep On Keeping On. Guys, the first time I heard this song, I was in my car, and all I wanted to do was throw up my hands to the heavens and fall to my knees. I couldn't stop the tears. It's such a reminder, and you know, sometimes we just need that.
These are some hard days. We've had some heartache, more than enough. Long are these cold nights. Feels like there's no light, and fear says give up. But I'm here to tell you, keep on keeping on. I'm here to tell you, God will make you strong. If all you've got left is just one more breath, rise up in faith, take one more step. I'm here to tell you, keep on keeping on. God can be trusted, and there is nothing that takes him by surprise. You aren't forsaken, so don't be shaken. Just lift up your eyes. I'm here to tell you, keep on keeping on. I'm here to tell you, God will make you strong. If all you've got left is just one more breath, rise up in faith, take one more step. I'm here to tell you, keep on keeping on. These temporary, momentary troubles will fade one day, but God is working, eternal glory, we'll know it when we see his face. I'm here to tell you, keep on keeping on. I'm here to tell you, God will make you strong. If all you've got left, just one more breath, rise up in faith, take one more step. I'm here to tell you, keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. You gotta keep on.
If you're looking for grass-fed beef that's USDA certified, look no further than our friends at J&L Farms. J&L Farms raises 100% grass-fed beef with no additives. J&L Farms sells steaks, ribeyes, sirloins, New York strip, or any of your favorite steak cuts. They also sell roast, hamburger meat, any kind of specialty beef you want. They can get it done for you. Grass-fed beef is a healthy choice because it's leaner and has significantly lower levels of saturated fat. It's also higher in vitamins and antioxidants. It's simply a healthier choice for your body. So for special pricing or request pickup locations, you need to call our friend Larry Mathis at J&L Farms at 601-917-8063. That's 601-917-8063. Be good to your heart. Make the healthy choice. Choose delicious grass-fed beef from J&L Farms.
Well, that's it. That's it for the day, for the birthday week. That's it. That's a closure to it all. We'll start year number 2 when we get back on Monday. Don't forget to download Lost and Found by Southbound. It'll be the best song on your phone. I guarantee you it will. Can't beat Lost and Found. It's been a fun week. Thanks to the panel. Thanks for all of the guests. Thanks for all of your encouragement. It's just been a great year, and I'm glad we have done this together. We're going to end with Goodman Revival. You go download Southbound's Lost and Found. Have a good weekend. See you Monday.
morning over the sea. When the cares of life shall pass away.
Shall pass away forever.
He'll be there to welcome all the ransomed and free. When they ring the bells of heaven on that day. Oh, when they ring the bells of heaven, ring the bells of glory. When the redeemed are gathered on that day. On a hallelujah morning, everybody singing, shouting, what a happy meeting. When they ring the bells of heaven on that day, oh happy day. Press along, rejoicing through this unfriendly land. Glory land is waiting all the way.
The sun is always shining.
That'll be a glad homecoming, won't it be grand? When they ring the bells of heaven on that day. Oh, when they ring the bells of heaven, ring the bells of glory. When redeemed are gathered on that day. On a hallelujah morning, everybody singing, shouting, what a happy meeting. When they ring the bells of heaven on that day. Oh, when they ring the bells of heaven, ring the bells of glory. When redeemed are gathered on that day. On the hallelujah morning, everybody singing, shouting, what a happy meeting. When they ring the bells of heaven on that day. When they ring the bells of heaven on that day. Oh, when they ring the bells of heaven, ring the bells of glory. When redeemed are gathered on that day. On the hallelujah morning, everybody singing, shouting, what a happy meeting. When they ring the bells of heaven on that day. When they ring the bells of heaven on that
You've been listening to The Morning Show with Natalie Duncan-Emmons. We're glad you joined us. We want to invite you back tomorrow when once again you'll hear some of the very best in gospel music and some of the finest in Christian entertainment. Will you join us tomorrow? Is it a date? We'll look for you then. God bless and goodbye, everybody.